Hello, friends, and welcome back to another edition of the Weather Live Weekly Outlook here on this Wednesday, January 31st, 2024. It's hard to believe that we've got the worst of winter behind us. Now, I mean, climatologically speaking, the heart of winter is in that second, third week of January. It's hard to believe we're about to move into February. And in fact, in just 2 days, we get that famous rodent with his annual prognostication that's probably going to disappoint everybody, okay? It's usually the way that works. All right, with that being said, let's get you the lowdown. Right now, things are pretty mild. They're pretty quiet for most of the United States right now. And we're going to be able to enjoy a nice little period as we head on into the month of February, taking a look at the satellite perspective currently. And you've got some little unsettledness across the eastern United States, departing low pressure off the Carolina coast. Still some cold air across the northeast, and then that next storm way out west. But in between, there's a lot of space with not a lot going on. And again, this time of the year, we'll take the quiet weather whenever we can get that. So here's a look on over to the radar perspective before we take you over to the satellite, or make that the jet streams, and the weather models. We'll talk about how long this quiet pattern is going to last. So there's the unsettledness across the east, and again, not a whole lot happening. Some cool, but not terribly cold temperatures by any stretch of the imagination. And then you go west, and the temperatures actually get warmer. Look at the 50s and 60s across the plains right now. Some 70s across the desert southwest. That would be really nice. But as mentioned, there's really just not a whole lot going on. Weather-wise, that is going to change here, I think, in the next couple of weeks. But it may take a couple of weeks before we see those significant changes. Jet stream pattern currently showing we got quite a bit of ridging across the central eastern U.S. This is kind of a blocking ridge, as we described during our previous video, with high pressure located across the northern tier. You got a low pressure below it. This forms a blocking high, kind of looks like a figure eight. But a blocking high, and it prevents the progression of systems downstream, which is why we're not going to see any big-time changes to our forecast here, at least in the next few days ahead. Back to the satellite real quick, and I just wanted to show you the lack of watches and warnings on this particular map here. And I'm going to turn on the watches. Warnings will take off the actual IR, and again, just not a lot going on. Of the watches and warnings, I think there's a little, a flash flood watch for northern Mississippi. I don't even know if that's accurate, considering it's not even raining. But there is some snow out in the Rockies, as is the case oftentimes this time of the year. Higher terrain than in-state California, even Southern California outside of Los Angeles. I believe that's the San Gabriel Mountains. They're seeing some of the activity here as we speak. All right, let's get into the model data, and let's see where this thing is going. And we'll run on over here too, and we'll start you off with the European forecast model. Taking a look at those jet streams here, and here you go. All right, so current jet stream is here, where again we do have ridging, and we've got again that blocking feature, high over low pressure. And it's going to take a little while for this to break down. So that ridging will bring quieter than average weather. It's going to bring warmer than average weather. Look at that giant ridge as it works its way across southern Canada. But also look at the jet stream energy coming in underneath this. This is going to create a southern storm system that's going to move right from the desert southwest all the way through the Gulf Coast. If you live north of that, it's going to remain quiet. And then this is working out about a week from now. Then we're going to go a week and a half. So about 10 days from now, we're beginning to see the changes. Again, this is the European forecast model with the northern branch beginning to come down, and once again beginning to merge with the southern branch. And as we've learned so far this winter during this particular podcast, that's when you have the potential of real deal winter weather, because you need the northern branch to come down to bring down the cold, and to merge with the southern branch, which brings up the moisture. And those are the two that we're looking for. So this is February the 10th, about 10 days from now, when we're beginning to see, again, that different shape to the jet stream pattern. I'm going to move right on over to the GFS, which is showing something very similar. It's showing a stronger merger of the northern and southern branch of the jet streams. Again, this is by not this weekend, but next weekend, the 10th. And as we roll on further, according to the GFS, looking very active. That's the way the European is going. So I think that's where the data is going to take us. As far as sensible weather is concerned, back to the European forecast model again. Not a lot going on. Departing storm off the Carolina coast. Northeast, we'll see another round of some snow showers and some rain showers here Thursday and maybe into Friday. No big deal. All the activity is out west, and again, particularly the southwest, with that upper storm moving across the Gulf of Mexico here as we head on into Sunday, Monday. But again, if you live in the Midwest or the northern tier, it's still very quiet. There's the European showing that first vigorous front arriving across the Ohio River Valley, the Great Lakes here by next Friday. That's a week from this Friday. So this is February the 10th. If we want to look beyond that, according to the GFS, and you'll see we're seeing more and more storm systems. The cold air is beginning to return. You see a little snowmaker, the GFS at about 270 hours. We'll see if that pans out. But the cold will return. I think that's what all the data is pointing towards. And so with that, we can expect the eventual return of winter. Snowfall-wise, the next 10 days, you can see the haves and the have-nots. Clearly, not a lot going on. Next 10 days, according to the Euro, there is almost no snow for the eastern 1 to 2/3 of the United States. Okay, almost everything is up in the Rockies, where they're going to have a lot in the Rockies and the Sierra Nevadas, but the eastern U.S. is going to completely miss here into the first week or two. If we go beyond that, take a look at the GFS, what it's showing once we go beyond that time frame here. As far as forecasted snowfall totals, there you go. It begins to show some action returning to the eastern United States here. Again, but we're talking about a week and a half to 2 weeks out before this pattern begins to change. But we think it's going to change. Winter will return. In the meantime, we continue to contend with above normal temperatures. That's what the our friends over at the Climate Prediction Center are showing. Eastern half of the United States above average to well above average. Although this is the 8 to 14, I really think once we get closer to that 2-week mark, this is going to change very rapidly. But in addition to that, we can expect some moisture as well. So it's going to be warmer. It's going to be wetter than average. Kind of ho-hum weather. Lots of clouds. Temperature's a little mild, though, so I guess we'll probably take that. Be prepared. Winter returns. As mentioned, as we head on into mid-February, we'll be eyeballing that. In the meantime, friends, you guys enjoy the mild, the quiet pattern while we get to keep it around. And you guys stay blessed. We'll talk to you soon. Bye.